Hello and welcome to Hard Way Learning, where we look stupid so you don't have to. Today we are working on my 2017 Volkswagen Golf GTI and we are going to service the DSG fluid. But first, before we lift the car up and drain it, we're going to remove our intake, remove the battery to access the filter that is on top of the transmission. This should be the same service procedure for any of the 2 liter or 1.8 liter Volkswagen or Audi cars. So that includes your Golf Sportwagens, your Golf Rs, Golf GTIs, your A3, S3, and even the RS3, which we did a video on. There's just an additional drain plug for that with the mechatronic unit. But let's get the intake out and then I'll show you how to remove the battery and we'll get access to that filter. Sprayed a little bit of WD-40 on this grommet for the intake. I have broken these posts before, and if someone knows if they're replaceable, please send me a link because I don't want to buy the whole battery tray. It's 10 millimeter back here. You just have to get it loose. The filter is located right here. So we'll just crack that loose. And that should help the lower portion drain. So now we come underneath the car. 14 millimeter hex is our drain. Make sure your drain pan plug is open. Yeah, that fluid looks pretty decent. The interval is 40,000 miles. I'm doing it at 36,000 miles. We'll let that drain for a while. Once that initial drain plug is done draining, you come back in with a 7 millimeter hex and get the snorkel out. This is what sets our fill level later. I guess it's an 8 millimeter hex. There's not a lot of tension on that though, so it's an 8 millimeter hex. It's where a majority of your fluid is going to come out. I got my kit from FCP Euro, so you get a new drain plug crush washer and a new O-ring for the filter housing. Make sure to replace those while you're waiting for everything to drain, since you will have some downtime. Alright, so while we're waiting for the rest of it to drain out, we can grab a couple towels here and remove the old filter. Should just pull straight up. Take that out just like so, set it aside. Put our new filter in. Should go on just like that. Put our new filter, or our filter housing on with the new O-ring. And this gets torqued to 20 Newton meters. I like to lube up the O-ring with a little bit of the old fluid. .24 millimeter wrench, 20 Newton meters. Now we go back down below. Alright, so now we plop our snorkel back in. 8 millimeter hex. The torque spec is like 5 newtons. You can literally just finger snug it up. Finger snug there. And we will start filling. You add 5 quarts. I got this little adapter here. We will pump from the bottom. Cap it. We'll start the car. Bring the DSG up to 35 to 45 degrees C. You can use OBD11 or VCDS. Once it reaches 35 to 40, pull the drain plug back out, let it drain the excess and plug it back up and you're good to go. Alright, so once you've pumped your 5 liters in, you're going to need to put the drain plug back in very carefully. So we twist this guy off. That guy back in, and we don't need to snug this up just yet. We're going to bring the DSG up to temperature between 35 and 40 degrees C. For VCDS, you go into auto trans, then you search for transmission temperature. I'll put the scan location or whatever you call it in the description, but now we got to idle the car to bring this up to temperature. So we are currently idling the car, waiting for the temperature to reach 35 degrees C. You want it to be between 35 and 45 degrees C, so I'll probably start pulling the plug at like 38. You let it drain until it drips, then you plug it up and torque it at 32 foot-pounds. We drain out the excess while it's still idling until it's down to a dribble. I want to make sure the car is level. So I've got it equally on all the pinch bolts on each lift point. The jack stands at the same height. VCDS appears to only read in even numbers, so it went from 34 to 36 right away. We want to complete this process before it reaches 45 degrees C. As you can see, we are down to a drip, which means we can return our drain plug and torque it to 33 foot-pounds. And that is the complete service for your DSG. You can turn the car off. I'll probably do a clutch adaptation, which I'll show you how to do in another video.